Alright guys, China Uncle Mikey here. Forgive me for being quiet for a while. I wasn't that motivated to make new videos because in the last several weeks it wasn't a lot of news happened in China, except that Tangshan incident I reported several weeks ago. But also summer is coming to Sweden, and I'm enjoying my summer holiday here. As you can see, it's a beautiful warm weather. Although I'm living in the coast, it's a little bit windy still. So I can just enjoy my life in Sweden. That's why I just gave myself a little bit break. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm just some random Chinese guy, amateur YouTuber, right? So that's why I was quiet for several weeks. But today I'm going to bring you another topic, which is the founder of Alibaba, Jack Ma. For quite a long time, Jack Ma is kind of like a positive figure for China. If you watch a lot of speeches or you watched a lot of videos about Jack Ma, he is kind of like a open-minded entrepreneur hosted in Hangzhou, right? And his enterprise or his company is very famous because of this e-commerce things. So yeah, for me, I have relatively positive opinion on Jack Ma, although I disagree a lot of political opinions because he is a entrepreneur hosted in China, so he has to to obey the rules and the laws and all this censorship craps. But anyway, I'm still positive until nowadays, right? So this is the news. I'm going to just read the news a little bit for you guys. So this is on Weibo, right? I'll put the picture or a snapshot where here. So the Weibo news is about like this. The founder of Alibaba showed himself in Spain, in Mallorca Island, and he was playing golf, the typical, entertainment for the rich people. And his luxury yacht was harboring on the coast of Spain, right? And they talk about the value of this yacht. It's about 200 million USD, which is ridiculous. And he hired like 25 cruise service on this luxury yacht. And the total length of this spectacular yacht is like 88 meters long. So the news is also mentioned that Jack Ma spent 1.5 billion USD, purchased a luxury mansion in Hong Kong, and he also purchased a park, a natural park in New York, Blandon, for 150 million. So yeah, this is a rich guy, right? He is just throwing money. But the interesting thing is Jack Ma was disappeared for quite a long time. He showed himself about like half years ago in Spain, in some other places, I can't remember. But the fact is Jack Ma is trying to fade it out himself in the public sight. So that's why he, in the recent 5 years, Jack Ma isn't that proactive, right? He isn't doing speech like he used to be, talking in Chinese Mandarin or talking in English to the global audience, right? To just share his life experience, to share his inspiring ideas. His conversation with Elon Musk wasn't that great because he is an entrepreneur. He is doing business, but he has no idea about aliens. He has no, I can't say no ideas, but maybe he has to censor himself to talk about some other topics. He can only focus on doing business in China or these kind of things, right? So what I'm gonna say is Alibaba is kind of in a big trouble nowadays, especially the Alibaba Group, as well as the Ant Financial, right? The Ant Financial was founded to be IPO in the American, to get investment, but the Chinese government stopped that because for some reasons, Chinese government is kind of like now in the recent 5 years who want to decouple with the American capitals. So that's why I do think you should not invest, the China concept stocks nowadays in America, because that will be a big problem for the future if you purchased a lot of stocks related to China, right? It doesn't matter if you agree or disagree, China economy is kind of slowed down or even decreasing. But for the public statistics released by the government, you wouldn't see that kind of like significant decreasing. It's kind of like a little bit slowdown of the GDP increasing, right? But China is kind of like a media controlled. You cannot really fully trust everything put out from the media, right? So that's why I'm not very positive. If you invest the China concept stocks in America, then I think you have to take out the money to avoid a lot of loss actually. But anyway, Alibaba isn't in a very good status, because just recently Alibaba announced a layoff for 4,300 employees are going to be fired or laid off. Although it's not fired, but it's just a layoff, right? I give you some money, you can go. Maybe 1 month ago, the very famous streamer, right? The internet celebrity, or you can call it a streamer seller. His name is Li Jiaqi. Li Jiaqi is like top one, retailer hosted in Alibaba platform or Taobao platform, just promoting different kinds of products. But by mistake, he made a small mistake, or he wasn't that political sensitive, right? So he showed up a tank, or a cake of tank, in a very sensitive day, and which can be implications about this, terrible things happened before. So yeah, this guy got disappeared. Nobody know where he is. He is not in the public sight, and he is totally wiped out from the Chinese internet, right? I have to say Chinese internet all the time to differentiate with the internet all over the world, which is kind of ridiculous. So, by saying about this huge layoff about the Alibaba enterprise, a lot of people, IT guy, right? I'm an IT guy. So for a quite long time to work in Hangzhou for Alibaba is kind of the Chinese new graduates' dream, right? It's kind of like if you can be hired by Alibaba for guaranteed, you can earn a relatively higher salary than the majority of the people in the country. So for my understanding, or my former colleagues who hired by Alibaba and went to Hangzhou, averagely they can earn like 30k RMB for a month, which comparing to the average peasant people cultivated in the paddy field, they earn like 1,000 RMB, and it's a big fortune gap. So working for high-tech companies in the last 10 years, it's kind of a dream for the new generation of China. That's why a lot of people, pick up IT or programming as their professional, and they have a dream to realize it, because as long as they are hired by Alibaba or hired by Ant Financial, if you can promote it to the middle level management, you will earn 500,000 or something. It's all not that difficult in China, right? But all these good things are kind of stopping. I'm not going to say it's totally devastated or economical collapse, but like this stupid show always talk devastation and economical collapse or something like that. Anyway, this year China got millions of new graduates who graduated from the universities. Now the news are predicting these new graduates are pretty hard to find a new job in the Chinese market, because the whole economy is kind of slowed down, and a lot of in the majority of the time, the state-owned company are not going to hire a lot of Chinese nationals, right? The majority of the kids from an average family, they are going to be hired by a private Chinese company, or they are going to be hired by those small businesses, or found a little company to work for themselves, right? Or to be a delivery man. We talk about delivery man, or just being a streamer on internet, right? Selling products on Taobao, and receiving and send their products to make profit. And instead of to be hired by a famous international companies, because to work with international companies like just Siemens or IBM or Microsoft, you need a certificate, right? You have to be graduated from the top niche of the Chinese universities before. Nowadays, they are still asking the same thing, but you have to be before they only ask like a bachelor, but now, mandatory, you have to be a master degrees holder, right? But anyway, so what I'm going to say is, Jack Ma is still spending his money in the other countries, which means he's not totally, house arrested in China because he owns a lot of fortune. But Jack Ma is a public figure presenting the past of China. But he is definitely not a public figure that nowadays the government want the new generation to look at. So now you see the shift of the society, right? So Jack Ma is definitely presenting the openness, or the opening part of the China economy, welcoming everyone from all over the world coming to China to show the good, the beautiful side of China. To be friendly, cooperate with the entire world. Now, the great era is finished, or it's gradually closing. It wasn't a long time. It was about like 40 years. Personally, I was grow up in that period of time. I experienced the opening of China from the very beginning during the 80s. The materialism or the living condition wasn't that great, and along with the growth of China, the living condition changed. I got a chance to go to overseas, to learn another language. That's why I'm sitting here to talk to you guys, to see the beautiful world in different countries, to experience the different things. That's the beautifulness of this opening, right? If China was kept in a cultural revolution status, I wasn't able to even step out of the country, right? But sadly, nowadays, you are seeing this great time is kind of finished. I mean, if you go back, look at 2008 during the Beijing Olympic Games, there was some problems, happening here and there. But in average, the majority of the foreigners or the tourists or people coming to China are still portrayed or see China as positive, right? It's a country that welcoming the world. Although, censorship is always there, right? Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm gonna say. It's just a casual chat because Jack Ma, right? Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next time. Cheers.